Good morning, staff and students, and welcome to our 2025 Are You OK Day Assembly. In our assembly today, we will be seeing many students and staff sharing their thoughts, skills and reflections on what this day means to them. Before we start, we respectfully acknowledge that we are on Dharawal land, and as is customary at a St. Greg's Assembly, I invite Jacoby Fernando for an acknowledgement of country, and I will invite Declan Malone to lead us in prayer.
Yaman Yamar Gumre, Daligawali down, Gumre down, Yerndali, Daru down, we're Durban, Darabagi, Bubagoni, Miabia, Yellow. Good morning, my name is Jacoby Fernando. I'm a proud Gumre man. My title is the Goanna. I'd like to take this time to acknowledge the lands on which we meet today, the lands of the Daru people. I'd like to extend these respects to all elders, past, present, and emerging. Thank you very much.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. We gather in thanksgiving for the gift of belonging to this community, knowing that every person here is valued, accepted, and has a place. We are grateful for the opportunities to support one another. We ask, Lord, that you guide our hearts to offer compassion and understanding, just as Jesus walked with others and showed care. Help us to be a source of hope and support for those feeling lost or alone. We pray for wisdom and courage to truly listen to those who may be struggling. We pray for strength to reach out with a kind word, a listening ear, and a genuine question. A simple conversation that could change a life. May our actions reflect your love, encouraging people to be real and to know they are not alone. Amen. St. Marcel and St. Gregory, Mary, our good mother, and may we always remember, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Are You OK Day Assembly for 2025. Today is about more than just a question. It's about reminding each other that no one has to go through life alone. Our college theme this year is We All Belong. Those three words carry a powerful message that every single person here is valued, accepted, and has a place in our community. Belonging isn't just about fitting in. It's about feeling connected, supported, and understood. When we look out for one another, we listen without judgment. And when we simply take the time to ask, "Are you okay?" we create a school environment where everyone feels safe and included.
So today, as we listen, reflect, and participate, let's remember that we each play a role in building this culture of connection. Together, let's make sure that nobody feels invisible, nobody feels left out, and that we continue to prove that we all belong. To explore this further, I invite our college counselling team to discuss in detail.
Good morning, St. Greg's. I'm one part of the high school counselling team. My name's Sam Duncan. We'd like to take a few moments to talk about Are You OK Day. It's been 17 years since the first Are You OK Day. During this week, everyone around Australia is encouraged to pause, make connections and reflect, ask, are you okay? Perhaps to someone you wouldn't normally speak to. The late Gavin Larkham started Are You OK in 2009, hoping to protect others from experiencing the pain his family felt when his father died due to poor mental health. He believed in that time the time it takes to make a cuppa, you could start a conversation that could potentially change a life. This belief, which is backed by academic research, found that feelings of connection and belonging are a protective factor against poor mental health. It makes us feel better. 3 in 4 Australians agree, but when it comes to starting these conversations, some people are less confident than others, even when they feel someone is struggling. Are You OK has found a third of Australians might hesitate to ask someone if they're okay because they're worried about invading someone's privacy or they're not confident their actions will help. But the data tells a different story. 4 out of 5 people say they feel grateful and supported when someone asks if they're okay. What they value most is trust, a sense of genuine care, and someone who really listens with an open mind. The Are You OK research shows those who are regularly asked Are you okay report increased feelings of well-being. Now, we know it takes someone to be brave, to be courageous, and to be bold, so the junior school are going to show us how we do it.
At our school, we believe that everyone belongs. Belonging means feeling safe, cared for, and knowing that someone will notice if we're not okay. Today is Are You OK Day, a day to remind us that a simple question can make a big difference. Sometimes it's not easy to see if someone is having a tough time, but if we care, we can ask and help them feel they belong. Step 1 is to ask, are you okay?
Hey, you don't seem like yourself today. Are you okay? I don't know. I just feel left out today.
Step 2 is to listen with an open mind. That means giving them your full attention without interrupting or judging.
Do you want to come play with us at lunch? Or go to a teacher if you're upset?
Step 3 is to encourage action. You can suggest something that might help.
Oh hey, remember the other day when I asked if you're okay? How are you feeling now? Better. Thanks for checking in.
Step 4 is to check in. It shows you care and helps them know they're not alone. At our school, we belong when we look out for each other. So today and every day, remember to ask, listen, encourage action, and check in. A conversation could change a life.
Are you?
Are you? Are you?
Are you?
Are you? Are you? Are you? Are you?
Are you? Are you?
Are you okay?
Good morning, everyone. We hope you enjoyed watching our Are You OK video called Steps to Ask Are You OK. We made this film because we wanted to remind our school that every single one of us has a place here.
Sometimes it can look like someone is doing really well on the outside, smiling, laughing, and joining in. But inside, they might actually be struggling. That's why Are You OK Day is so important.
The video showed us the 4 simple steps we can all take to check in on our friends. 1. Ask, are you okay? 2. Listen with an open mind. 3. Encourage action. 4. Check in.
These steps aren't just for today, they're for every day. Asking your friend if they're okay can make them feel noticed, valued, and supported. Even if they say they're fine, knowing that someone cares can mean the world.
We also want you to remember that belonging is about more than just having friends. It's about being kind, including others, and noticing when someone might be feeling left out. A small action like a smile, a wave, or an invite to join in can make a big difference.
And if you ever feel like you're not okay, remember, you don't have to go through it alone. You can always talk to a trusted adult, a parent, a teacher, or one of our college counsellors. Asking for help is a brave and important thing to do.
So today, let's promise to look out for each other, ask the question, and really listen to the answer. Together, we can make sure that everyone at our school feels like they belong, because at our school, we belong. And it all starts with a simple question: are you okay?
Are you okay is not just a day, it is any day. We don't just speak to our parents on Mother's and Father's Day, and Jesus shouldn't be saved for Christmas. We can ask, are you okay, any day, because life happens every day. When we ask someone how they're really going, make time to listen. Make sure that person feels seen and cared for. Today and every day at St. Greg's, by asking, are you okay? You're helping us create a community where we all feel a sense of belonging and help protect against poor mental health. Thank you.
Thank you to our counselling team and our junior wellbeing ambassadors, Mrs. Marmo, for the wonderful clip. It is now time to invite Arthur Hackett to the lectern. Arthur is a Year 12 student and the college wellbeing leader. N would like to share his personal wellbeing story as a student of the college.
Good morning, everyone. As you all know, this year I've had the privilege of being the leader of wellbeing for our school. And as one of the last times for me talking to you in this role, I want to make something meaningful, and it is at the heart of Are You OK Day. Please be patient with me today. What I'm about to share is an experience I rarely even talk about with my family and friends. So I want to take you back to August the 24th, 2020. On this day, my mother was in Camden Hospital for her continual checkups when she found out she had incurable cancer. I fell in a state of shock and disbelief, knowing that someone you truly love and is about to get taken away from you. In the coming weeks, I watched the life literally drain out of her. For those who knew her, she was a vibrant, energetic woman who was strong and inspiring. Someone I always aspired to look up to and love at my lowest times. Soon after these news, she said her last words to my father, to my dad, to my sisters and brothers, and I will never forget them. After the doctor's appointment, they promised 6 months. These 6 months turned into 3. And then it turned into weeks and days, and then she was gone. On the 9th of October at 6 p.m, my dad asked us all to say our last goodbyes. Now, you can never really mentally prepare for this. I walked into the room, and I'm just going off my head here. I walked into the room, and I didn't really know what to say. I just saw someone who was cold, who was riddled by pain, anger, and I took the blame on that. I thought it was my fault. I thought everything was my fault. And I felt accountable and ashamed of myself for not using the time I had with her. And I never got to tell her how grateful I was for her being in my life. The months after were filled with silence and loneliness. The house didn't feel the same anymore. There was something missing, from adding another plate to the table to wishing to your goodnight wishes. It affected me in ways I didn't even think was possible. And just social interactions were a struggle for me. Knowing that everyone else in the community had a mother and I didn't, it kind of tore me apart in ways that I wouldn't even believe. However, to say this experience just shaped me would be self-centered. It impacted the people around me drastically, including my dad, uncle, grandparents, siblings, and friends. In this time, COVID was happening. My mum's brother was living in America at the time and he couldn't even visit. The borders were shut down and he filled in every application to get in and he just couldn't get in. Now, that was so important, I believe, for my mother because they lived with each other for 20 years, and the fact that she couldn't see her brother before she passed away was quite cruel. Then COVID hit for the second time. We were in lockdown, shut from exiting the house. In those months, my head kept repeating the pain over and over again. I didn't know how to cope, and it was consuming the pain over and over again. It was consuming me even thinking about trying to get over this. I was 12 years old at the time and really didn't understand how this was going to affect me. Joining the online classes, I acted like nothing was bothering me. I sat and waited for my name to be called. There was no how are you going, how are you feeling, and what have you been doing. I sat and watched a blank wall every single day, reliving the pain over and over again. In that moment, I removed every single memory I had of her. I didn't want to even confront the feeling that I did that night. And, now I can't remember literally anything about her. And this is just where my story begins. While it sounds personal, the community of people around me helped me overcome this experience, but also embrace it in ways I never thought possible. I want to shed a light on the importance of family and friends in overcoming such an experience. I wouldn't be where I am today without them. During the months after her passing, I had continual visits from family and friends checking in to see if I was okay. At that moment, I rejected any sort of emotions, a plain face without the slightest bit of expression. I boxed myself up and didn't want to express or even acknowledge the pain that I was feeling. One of the most important gifts that the community of people around me bought was actually this book. This book is a collection of photos from my mother's life, and it's a symbol that, you can't really feel her, physically, but emotionally and mentally, you can show recaps of her life. And, thinking about on my 18th birthday, graduation, I won't actually have her there, but in my mind and with this book, I can actually recap and look at it while I achieve things that I really wish that she was here for. Now, I want to talk to you about a person that helps me get over this grief, anger, and sadness. He's actually in this room today, Year 12, Connor Norris. In the periods of COVID, I talked about how I was literally just boxed up, and I couldn't escape the reality of confronting my feelings. And this bloke opened up his arms and let me into his house. I stayed there continually, week in, week out, and he offered me a place of sanctuary while I was in turmoil. Why this was so significant for me was because it wasn't about that we actually talked about what was going on. It was the presence that actually made the impact. We did all the normal things that normal 12-year-olds did, like riding bikes, playing video games, and just all the stuff that, you want to do. And he allowed me to escape reality, escape the pain that it's caused me, and escape what was happening at home. And how this is at the heart of Are You OK Day is that it's not always about the conversations. Like, I think for especially the senior school, a lot of people put pressure on you to talk. And, sometimes it's not the best thing to talk. It's about the presence and the friends that you find along your journey. And I was lucky that I found a whole group of people that were actually, they fostered me to grow in ways that I wouldn't even think was possible. Like I was literally a mess back in the day. But yeah, it's you need to find the people that you actually want to love, want to be with, and that actually offer you something to grow. Now, the community of people around here at school actually had a great impact on my life. Mr. Newell and his son, I believe he's somewhere around over there. Anyways, they were one of the first people that actually came up to my house after my mother passed away. And this was such a great impact on especially me and my older brother, because it showed that someone actually cared for us. It showed that someone from the community actually recognised that we were challenged, and they wanted to reach out to, progress and make us feel comforted. This is at the heart of Are You OK Day, like I said before, because sometimes it's not about the conversations, it's about the people you surround yourself with that truly make you feel like you belong. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur, for having the courage to share your story with us all today. I hope your story can help others going through similar things. I would now like to invite two junior school students, Zara and Zach, who will be playing separate musical pieces. Zara Pascaline of Year 3 will be singing a song, Born to Entertain, from the Ruthless musical, followed by Zachary Lazinski of Year 6, who will be playing the piano, titled Just Jazzin'. Sorry.
Some girls like to cook and sew. When I cook, it's in a show. I was born to entertain. Some girls prefer to help them clean. I'd rather learn a dance routine. I was born to entertain. Instead of walking, I go flapping. When I tap, I'll make it happen. Mom says I have Broadway on the brain. Don't get too comfy in that seat. When I'm strong, stuff you'll be on your feet. I was born to sing and dance. Not every showbiz Cinderella has got to come from polka tail. My stone rise like bubbles in champagne. By now you've guessed my one ambition is not to be no mathematician. I was born to amuse, from the tip of my nose to the tap of my shoes. Strike up a band and hand me my hat to my cane. 'Cause I was born to entertain.
Thank you, Zara and Zach, for your beautiful performance this morning. Each year, we invite a staff member of the college to share their personal journey. This year, I would like to invite Mr. Morrison, our PDHBE teacher and first grade rugby league coach, to address us this morning.
Good morning, staff, students and members of the community. When Mr. Vetrano asked me to speak today, I was very hesitant. I'm normally a person who avoids the spotlight, but after agreeing to speak today, my mind kind of exploded with the many different things that could be addressed. So I've tried to keep it to what I feel are the most important things to say, so let's see how we go. What's the problem? This is an image from the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare. It's the leading cause of death by age group. If you look at the two age groups, 15 to 24 and 25 to 44, the leading cause of death is suicide. So when we talk about our theme this year, we are all in this together. This is what we are talking about. Turning this around through connection. Perception isn't reality. What I mean by this is that the way we perceive things or the way we see things from the outside may not be the truth. Every person has a background and a story that people won't know unless they know the person well. Just because we see things a certain way, it doesn't make it reality. It is the same with social media. People portray the best parts of their lives: weddings, outings, great meals, holidays, etc. They're not showing the standard day-to-day things we experience every day. They're not showing their struggles. Particularly men, we can't show that crack in our armour. So our perception of reality is jaded. It doesn't fit. So here is a bit about me that you may not know. It may challenge that perception that you have. I was a housing commission boy from Aids who grew up in a household where domestic violence and addiction were present. Once my family split, my mum raised my three siblings and I. My older sister has a disability. Back a slide, sorry man. My older sister has a disability called spina bifida. This means that mum spent most of her time looking after my sister. My brothers and I basically ran amok and learnt some lessons the hard way. Other things you may not know about me are summarised well by my wife. She's described me as a nerd in disguise as a jock. I love playing games like Demon Souls and Dark Souls. I've had a good trophy run recently on Clash Royale. There's my homemade deck up there. 12,000 trophies, Clash Flex. My favourite book series is a series called The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I've been trying to write my own book for a while now called The Phoenix. There's a screenshot of the prologue up there. So why did I tell you all of this? Hopefully I shared something with you didn't know about me to demonstrate that the perception you have of the person might not be right. This should influence how we treat people around us. People are a compilation of their lived experience. Their experience may be negative or positive. So that bit of banter you're about to throw out at your mate, or when you yell out chopped at someone just because your mate did, maybe reconsider, because your perception of how that person is going might be off. I've got two stories to share with you. Unfortunately, within the first 2 years of leaving high school, 4 people that I knew committed suicide. The picture of the tree up there is a place where one of these boys has a memorial plaque. This person was a great guy. He always was the life of the party. He would help you however he could. I used to run to footy training because Mum didn't have a car. He would drag me over to his parents' car after training to give me a lift home. He knew I was proud and I didn't want help. What we didn't know though, that he was struggling. His family was aware, but most of his friends weren't. Like I said, our perception was wrong. If I could share one piece of advice here, it's this. If a person is struggling, they should avoid drinking and taking drugs. My friend here was experiencing some dark lows. He would then go out and party and get high and do all the crazy things that some young people do, and then he'd crash back down to his lows. I won't share any more details about the end. But I wish I knew, and I wish he started a conversation like Are You OK promotes. My second story, the fellow that I'm talking about is in that team photo up there. That's a photo of one of the junior rep footy teams that I've coached in the past. This player came up to me during a training session. He said, "Coach, I'm going away." I asked where he was going, how long he was going, who he was going with, etc. He was very vague with his response, and it left me feeling really uneasy. Was it projection from my lived experience, or was there something going on? I asked the player to stay back at the end of training, and I tried again. I was honest with him. I said that I was worried and that I thought he was going to do something dumb. He laughed it off and said that he was fine. "It's all good, coach," he said. I said, "Before you leave, let me say 2 things. The first thing is that if you're thinking of doing what I think you're doing, what you need to understand is that it's final and there's no going back. The second is that you have my phone number and you can call anytime." He said, "It's all good." He looked at me like I was some sort of a weirdo. He shook my hand and he left. At 11:34 p.m. that night, he called. I won't give you any of the details, but he needed help. I called his uncle who he lived with. His uncle saved his life that night. The bravery of that player was massive, to reach out and ask for help when he needed it. The follow-up from this was immense. The swell of support he received from the club, from the people around him, from his teammates, was absolutely huge. It probably maybe opened his eyes and made him realise that people did care. A lot of work had to be done, and he did the work. He's now married with 2 kids and seems really, really happy. Now, my second story sounds like some sort of a fairy tale or happy ending. I assure you it wasn't. It took hard work and a whole lot of support and sacrifice for him to be okay. I've got 2 messages to leave you with. When you see what you see on the slide is one of the most relevant sayings to me as a coach and as a teacher. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I'm sure every teacher in this hall has felt this at some point. You can plan a great lesson, have fantastic resources and scaffolds, etc., but unless the student buys in and invests, it will fail. It's the same with mental illness and suicide. You can have the greatest supports in the world, but unless the person wants to work or improve, it will not work. I know this is harsh, but it is the truth. One more. There we go, the sandwich. Okay, you may have heard this saying, the only place you'll find success before work comes in the dictionary, but I like this one better. Success is a sandwich. It comes between sacrifice and work. The more you sacrifice and work, the bigger and tastier the sandwich will be. That was a lot of words. To summarise, let me leave you with this. Consider that your perception may be wrong, and we should therefore treat people with kindness. We can beat the problem with connection, as we are all in this together. Cheers.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison, for your personal story and one that many students, staff and parents will take so much from. I would now like to invite our poetry students to the stage who will be performing for us all. Please welcome the boys to the stage.
Through the game we make our way, each and every day, over artificial
alone are the stars, and so distant they are. Though alone laid of the same sky, the same sun to rise, so scattered to sun to burn, yet tethered together they stitch the heavens, and to unify those lights creates a beauty to yearn, a strung painting sung by tongue of the stars together. See us all as stars in the night sky, see us to never awry, as we stand together amongst another. Grown of the same night sky, same clouds defy our burn, yet together we defy and burn a light through under the moon. Stars dim and distant, fierce and flamed, yet together, stars dim and distant, fierce and flamed, any hue no less a star, no less a person, burn their own sermon of the same night, the same light, to illuminate and let find our paths, of branch to the same fork. And though of different galaxies, of different systems, different spaces and constellations, we find our home together, not in the constructed walls and roof and halls, but in the beauty of connection, the beauty of like stars. See us all stars, belonging to the same night, the same sun to rise.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. That don't kill me, can only make us stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, cause I can't get much longer. Man, I've been waiting all night now, that's how long I've been on ya.
Standing in a crowded room and I can't see your face. Put your arms around me, tell me everything's okay.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Hold on. Let's run that back.
Thank you to our slam poetry students, Mr. Gaspy and our secret dance crew, for their wonderful performances this morning. We've seen a lot of items this morning, and one thing, the common theme for this year is we all belong. It's a theme that goes hand in hand with Are You OK Day, because belonging is at the core of everyone's well-being. Belonging is a feeling of being accepted for who you are, a feeling of connectiveness around the people around you, knowing you have a place here in this school, in this community. School can be a roller coaster of emotions. We have the moments where we feel on top of the world. Other times we feel lost, alone, like we don't quite fit in. Maybe you're a new student to the school. Maybe your friendship groups have changed. Or maybe you're just struggling in one of your classes. Whatever it is these moments of feelings that belonging can be most fragile. Think about your friends. They're the people you laugh with in the hallways, the people you study with, the people you might share secrets with. They're a huge part of your sense of belonging. But belonging isn't just about friendship groups. It's about feeling connected to your teachers, maybe to your coaches, the entire school community. It's about feeling comfortable, walking into a classroom, knowing you're supported and you're valued. And of course, it's about family. Our family is our first community, our first place of belonging. Even if it feels complicated sometimes, remember, they are often our greatest source of support. When we feel like we belong, we feel stronger. We feel more resilient. We're most likely to speak up when we're struggling. And we're most likely to reach out to someone who might be struggling too. Sorry, everyone. Jackson, just... What are you doing?
Yes, I'm a ball boy for St. Greg's. I need to get the ball back.
Mate, this is an assembly.
Sorry, sir. Someone's kicked the ball. I need to get it back.
Mate, you just interrupted. There's about 1,500 people. You just interrupted everyone.
Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to.
Have a seat. Mate, grab a chair. Jackson, do you realise what this assembly is about?
Yeah, it's about belonging, sir.
Good. Can you tell me when was a time when you felt there was a moment here at St. Greg's that you felt you most belong?
Probably when I took the catch of the century against Endeavour Sports High.
Sorry, I'm a little bit confused. You catch of the century?
Yeah, it was televised on community TV.
So is this cricket?
No,
catch?
It's rugby league, sir.
And you're playing first grade rugby league?
No, ball boy, sir.
Okay, so you're the ball boy. Let's go through this. You're the ball boy, because I'm confused. You're the ball boy. What happened?
So they've gone for a conversion, and one of the Endeavour players has gone for the conversion.
Yep.
Missed it. I've come from behind, slide, and taken the catch.
As the ball boy at the back?
Yes.
Okay, so let me get this right. You're the ball boy. Somehow you've caught the ball. You've caught it, and it was televised.
Yes, correct. I got a video of it too.
I don't believe you.
I'll show you.
Show me.
Williams moves in, pushes it well left. So conversion unsuccessful. And what a take from the ball boy on the far side. That's brought the crowd to its feet. Diving full length, the ball boy takes a spectacular mark. He's a fan favourite here at St. Greg's.
Wait. Okay. That wasn't you.
Ask all the Year 12 boys, I'll tell you.
Boys, was that him? Oh. Unbelievable.
Mate, so that moment there made you feel like you connected?
Definitely.
That's amazing. Just out of curiosity, how many people kind of like that?
538,000 people.
Is that a lot?
Definitely.
Yeah, wow, okay. And can you just ask me a couple more questions? Like, what was that little manoeuvre you did? What's it called?
Goose step.
The goose step. Interesting, okay. Well, look, if I ask you one more question, during your time here, right, as that time of belonging and connecting, if you would mention a teacher or two who you felt you most connected with and you felt a good sense of belonging because of their support with you, who would you say?
It was probably Miss Burke, who helped me in rugby league, and Mr. Uno helped with my teaching.
Fantastic. Mate, I think they're calling over there. I'll leave you to it, my friend. Okay, I'm sorry for the interruption. So look, today I challenge you all. Like Harrison and his catch of the century, how he calls it, became his moment of connection. There are others who might find their moment of connection maybe dancing on stage, or winning the spelling bee in the Marion Centre, or singing to Wook the Suk Tawum after a victory, or connecting with a classmate who seems a little quiet, or a friend who hasn't found themselves lately. The conversation doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out conversation. You just need someone to be present and care. So let's look out for each other, support each other, and build a community where every single student and staff member feels seen, heard, and valued. Let's take a look.
I know sleep is friends with death, but maybe I should get some rest, 'cause I've been out here working all damn day. Blueberries and butterflies, the pretty things that greet my eyes when you call and I say I'm on my way. You and me belong together. Time. Spilling wine and homemade drinks, we throw a cheers, the worries sink. Damn it, it's so good to be alive. We know that we don't got much, but then again it's just enough to always find a way for a good time. You and me belong together like cold iced tea and warm the weather, where we lay out late underneath the pines, and we still have fun when the sun won't shine. You and me belong together all the time. Spilling wine and homemade drinks, we throw a cheers, the worries sink. Damn it, it's so good to be alive. We know that we don't got much, but then again it's just enough to always find a way for a good time. You
started First Nations, and I wanted to like learn more of my culture. All the younger and older boys took me in and just helped me and taught me how to do the dances properly.
I felt pretty belonged watching the Schoolboy Cup games here at Greg's. Seeing all the boys on the grandstand felt pretty good.
When I just moved here and a few weeks in, met some good mates and had a good laugh.
Would have to be like Josh, how we all celebrate each other's successes, whether it's on the footy field and representing our school in Schoolboy Cup or even in assembly, when we cheer each other on, when we win like a PDS comp or that sort of thing.
Probably as soon as I met the counsellors, they really connected me to the school, knowing I have support.
So belonging at St Greg's wasn't always easy for me. My year was part of the COVID year where we had year 7 and 8 in lockdown, so developing friendships were quite hard. And that challenged my sense of belonging at the school. Actually understanding who we are, why we come here, and why it's such a good school.
Thank you to Mr. Vetrano and everyone who has been involved in today's assembly for showing us what it means to truly belong.
I now invite Mr. Brennan for his address.
Well, good morning to staff and students, to our junior school students as well, and to our parents who have been able to join us, and staff of the college. What an overwhelming assembly, just speaking to Arthur behind the curtain. It was an assembly, obviously, that was very raw, and people took some incredible, risks. It says a few things to me, though, that it says a lot about this community at St Greg's, that we celebrated some beautiful singing, some wonderful dancing, some great poetry, some wonderful videos, and that's is wonderful, and some great work done by a lot of people who I'll recognise shortly. But I do want to particularly single out Arthur and Mr. Morrison to share a story still so raw for both of them, and share moments of their life that are difficult. Is very, very brave. And I often talk about vulnerability being a superpower. And one of the things I often speak about as a generation, I feel we've let the generation of young people down in a number of different ways. That we haven't solved world peace and things are pretty ordinary around the world, that there's a number of other things that we haven't done well as a legacy for you. But one thing I will say for our generation, I'm talking to the staff here, that we, I think, as a generation, not individually but collectively, can be proud of, is this space around mental health, and this space around belonging, and this space around are you okay? It was a subject as a student when I was your age would never have been discussed. And I remember, and some of the older members of staff might remember, there was an ad campaign back in the 80s, I think it was, with a dad and a son in a fishing boat, and the son asking the dad whether he could take one of his friends on the boat. And the boy that wanted to take on the boat had some sort of mental health condition, and there was reluctance from the dad initially, and then turned it around with a conversation. So it is a space that as young people you should feel incredibly connected. You should feel incredibly safe, to be able to share some of your darkest moments as well as celebrating some of your biggest successes, and to share what Arthur and Mr. Morrison did today. I think personally gives us permission in a community like St Greg's to know that we do belong, that we can have the conversations, we can share our moments despite our differences. Just to demonstrate that, put your hand up very quickly if you like pizza. Okay, pretty much every person, hands down. Put your hand up if you like pineapple on your pizza. Okay, put your hands down. Put your hands up if you hate pineapple on your pizza. Okay, so overwhelmingly people don't like pineapple on their pizza, but the reality is we all like pizza. So deep down, we all have something very important in common. And whilst we might have differences, and there's a clear one, deep down we are all the same. Deep down we want the same things. Deep down we want to belong. The other thing I would say, and I want to be very quick, conscious of time, and it's been touched on today, banter is a good thing. Having fun with your mates and saying things and having a laugh. But it can't be at the expense of a person, because particularly during COVID, we learned you do not know what's happening behind closed doors of any family. And we've heard a couple of stories today. So if you are thinking at times that there are boys who may be struggling or girls who may be struggling, it is so important that you are sensitive to that. And we saw a beautiful video from the junior school, and congratulations to people who put that together as well, that it is so important that we check in. And it's more than just offering a person a chocolate or something like that. It's a genuine, are you okay? And as a number of people said, just being present. One of our great Maris pillars, presence, just to be around people when they need it. The conversation won't magically fix everything, but it will do something powerful. It reminds people that they're not alone, that someone cares enough to listen, and that help is possible. So I'll leave you with the message, obviously, of today. Sometimes we think being strong means keeping quiet, pushing through, or pretending we've got it all together. But the real strength is found not only in reaching out, but in looking out for each other. So today, let's do more than just wear yellow clothing or share a post on social media. Let's be the community to look out for each other. Because if we know one conversation, one "are you okay?" can make all that difference. In closing, I'd just like to thank Mr. Vetrano and all of the staff that put together such a memorable and wonderful assembly. And I wish you all a wonderful day and a great weekend, and go the Raiders. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Just because of time, Mr. Malone, we might just hold on the sub to him today, just because we've got one grade that need to head to an assessment task this morning. But as Mr. Brannon just said, thank you to all of our MCs this morning, everyone who came across the stage, and all the organisers who've made today possible. That concludes the end of our assembly, and please listen to your year leaders and teachers. Have a great Are You OK Day. Oh, one more thing. Oops, stop. One more thing, 2 groups. Could I please see all first grade basketball? Could you all go to the back of the hall straight after this assembly to see Mrs. Giles? And could all our current Year 12 leaders and our incoming Year 12 leaders or Year 11 leaders for next year, could you all meet Mr. Brennan just out the front of the assembly before you leave? Thank you.